Chapter 2. Lifted. Jamai was still trying to prevent himself from smiling at the funny, rather graphic personification of Rage Avenue and Simple City, when he skipped to the first of two parts of the same book titled Stories Angels Tell. This first part was titled The Genesis of the Jamaican Conflict Resolvers. Next, he skipped to the first story titled De Villain Manslayer, The Man Who Hated Sunsets. He then flipped to the first chapter subtitled Lifted. And after shuffling to a more comfortable posture on the floor, and his face became more relaxed, he began to read the chapter in his mind. Dear reader, I, John Wong, was only 12 years of age when I was cruelly grounded in a jail room at my home in Rage Avenue, East Kingston, Jamaica, and soon thereafter found myself lifted to Gloryland, a cosmic, esoteric place in space, or of space, most popularly called Second Heaven of the Heaven of Heavens. And ever since that fateful day expired, my life has remained transformed beyond normal or rational comprehension and explanation, to which this book is but a mere attempt at telling the story, my almost unbelievable supernatural story. It all happened on a Friday in the month of June in the year 1986. Around 9 in the morning, I had skillfully climbed into the cabin of a moving pickup van while I was on my way to one of my uncle's grocery stores located near the southern end of the main street. I had done so, much possessed by the metaphorical spirit of a daredevil, instead of walking to the store as my dad had commanded me to do. Then a few hours later I returned home, way too soon, to a round of stick lashing and verbal scolding, and then I was thrown into the jail room like I was the devil himself. I didn't hear the remainder of my dad's threats, because now I couldn't hear anything but strange sounds due to my sudden unbalanced state, having also suddenly found myself levitating off the floor and floating or flying, or all of these motions in one. Next, I was twirling and furling and meandering into and around the room, and spiraling upward inside a whirlwind of prismatic, rainbow-like beauty, and out through the zinc roof of the house. Then I was above the tall cotton tree beside the house, then above birds, then above a helicopter, then above the entire community of Rage Avenue. I then found myself above the city of Kingston, then above the island of Jamaica, then above an airplane, also above clouds, above the western hemisphere of Earth. Yes, above the lit, curved half of our beautiful blue-green planet Earth, and continuing upward, passing our ginormous moon. And I found myself further up above floating round rocks of various sizes, and was still swiftly moving upward. Dear reader, I was now long past the troposphere, and the stratosphere, and the thermosphere, and even the exosphere. And now I was penetrating the space beneath a churning portal of sorts. No, it was more than a portal. It was a wide, colossal, fluffy wheel of cumulus clouds. No, I was wrong about that too, because whatever I was staring at looked too surreal to be just normal clouds, so high in shallow space. So now, my eyes widened further in blinding disbelief. For glancing everywhere, I saw the dominance of a colossal, Sargasso host of flying, dazzling creatures emitting peaceful ambience. And whatever I had now become, opened its mouth in awe at the sight of real angels. And as I soared higher and closer towards the celestial mega-host, I thought several times that I was only dreaming. I seemed to have lost all my familiar senses. For maybe I had fallen into a trance due to my hunger condition and was hallucinating. But that wouldn't have made sense either, would it? For how was I acutely aware of the assumptions I was making about all these things happening to me if I was just simply out of my conscious state? Or worse, becoming mad? I was extremely puzzled and scared, too. Nevertheless, I was sure I was buttressed by reality and not fantasy. Still, I soared onward closer to the great retinue of celestial beings which seemed to occupy every inch of space. There was just pure majesty as far as I could see. Then, without announcement, a dazzling, brilliant, light creature with broad wings appeared close beside me, and I shuddered. Then I felt a strange calmness rush through me as the being spoke to me in a low, ethereal, serenading, feminine voice, saying, "Hi, John Wong. I am Angel Genrev, your spirit guardian. I have been with you since the moment you were conceived. So you don't need to be afraid. Welcome to my world."